Welcome to Service Finding Operator Weekly Community Call. Today, August 11, 2022. So we have few agenda items. So first one is issue trashing. Andy, you want to walk us through that? Or?
Wasn't expecting you, but I can.
Okay, it's okay. Like Pavel says, maybe we can go through this one and see if there is anything new. This is past 1 week, right? And
yes, that appears to be.
This is okay. Issues posted and by 2 people. No, I don't know whether this gives an idea to which issue to look at. I still like to go to these issues.
I think in the last there are unresolved issues.
Yes,
there happens some conversation happened, so you can.
Those conversations mostly happening in the PR itself, right? So I don't know whether we need to go into these discussions in the right. For example, the delete namespace. This is I can see that you are reviewing this PR. So let's go to the issues itself then. Yeah, and let's spend maybe 10 minutes or so. Okay, there is no new issues, by the way. And I think last week we spent going through, and actually our list is not that big, just 11 issues opened. Okay, so I don't compare to many other projects. This is not a big list or anything.
No, it's not high volume.
Yeah, it's not high volume at all. And we have gone.
Yeah. Is it okay to then start looking at the oldest? That's another measure of how well we're doing. Is the how big the queue is, but also how long we have stuff that we haven't responded to.
Right.
So
just one other thing too. Does it I know that there's been some work to close off some of the tickets. Does it make sense to review what's been closed so that the rest of the team can see what's been triaged and or addressed over the last week, maybe?
Okay.
Would that be helpful? Would that be helpful to the team?
So most recently updated, right?
Yeah, I think it looks like it.
Service frenzy operated population. Yeah, this is we closed with the documentation, my documentation PR, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we tried to make a fix, but that didn't work out, and that PR I closed. And then we send a separate PR for the documentation, and then we close this issue.
Right.
So even though that's what was the other one? Using SP to bind ablation running in one. Yeah, this I think I closed it.
It's just a question, right?
Yeah, we had quite a lot of discussions here. So there are possible options we have right now supported. Either they could use a service endpoint definition or a direct secret reference, and that is the only option that I can think of. Basically, to specify something managed by other. Otherwise, there should be a dedicated, for example, AWS. We have ACK controller, right?
Right.
So like that. So there is no generic solution. The generic solution is you just use a direct secret reference.
Right. So somehow you need to create a direct secret.
Yeah, of course. You should have networking between the system. That is kind of obvious, I guess. So network policy is not part of our spec or even our SPF. So you don't need to worry about that. Then improve service finding status RMS. Yeah, this one I checked myself. Okay, so we have a better RMSA. I think I added that here. So the ask here was that there was no error message details. What is this? The reason about the reason. So I checked and I could see that this is the reason. This is how we are putting the error messages now. With this detail, no match for kind backing service. Like
so that's an old issue that we were able to fix already, basically.
It was fixed long back, but this issue was hanging around and I closed it 3 days ago. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the type of issues that I'm talking about, right? So it's
Yeah.
long running issues, even though we have 11, which means we're not getting adopted.
Right.
That's what it means.
Okay.
And then, but at least the ones that we get, because we're not getting adopted, at least the ones that we get, we should respond as fast as possible so that
Right.
those guys can then
Hmm.
start advertising us, right? But if they
Exactly.
get discouraged, if those folks are, open issues get discouraged with the community, then they won't advertise us, right? So
Right, and this one I think we close as part of our spec. I think with this we can stop here, right?
Yeah, just within the last week is fine. It's just maybe
Yeah,
good just to kind of make sure everybody knows what's been closed, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Right, then let me go back to the open issues and then the oldest. No, I think it's gone. What happened here? Yeah, the cross plane. This is a project. It is there
that's
for
the Google one, right?
not Google. I guess it's a independent organization. That's my understanding. So this is a very huge stack. That's all I understand, and they have integration with quite a lot of systems, including ACK, because they're closely working with Amazon. I noticed that they're coming up every just like our Red Hat is also working with them. I could see the Crossplane is closely working with the ACK community, and I can see they're also working with Microsoft and Google. What is that? GCK and all. So they have a good integration with almost all this kind of vendors, even Alibaba and other systems and all. And they support provisioning. To my understanding, that's somewhat like a DBAS operator, right? But in a very broad way, not just for the database. I think it's for any kinds of cloud services, is what understanding. And then, yeah, I don't know much more than that. So the ask here was bind an application to Crossplane IO provision service. Yeah, so Crossplane, this enables you to provision service, right? So once it is provisioned, whether it can be bind to that. That is the kind of
Yeah, but does it mean provision service like service binding provision service or
no.
a service like a yeah,
This is
it
just
doesn't mean that, right?
no. This is just something that got provisioned. Okay.
Like a
Not
provision
that-
in some cloud provider, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not really a duck type, right? There's
No.
duck type.
Not at all. We're talking. This issue is even predates the duck type. Yeah, I guess probably both April 25, 2025. Yeah. So yeah, without I mean I could see Steven also he had sometimes back mentioned the same project. So we need to see how much this project is really used in the wider Kubernetes ecosystem. What is the significant? Somebody need to do some kind of research and if this is worth
Actually,
supporting and
I'll take a look at
right?
this.
Yeah,
I'll take a look at this because
Yeah.
this is one of the things that I want to do as part of that investigation, Jasper. So
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a very huge project. That's the only thing that I noticed. There is a GitHub organization itself and quite a lot of repositories and
Right.
and they have, like I said, they have integration with almost all cloud vendors. Okay,
Right.
so yeah. Okay, so then fine. Let's get back to that. So let's keep it there open. Watch only for changes on a resource participating in a service binding. Yeah, this. I think we dropped watching for almost everything, and then now the ask here is to selectively watch, right? And no, I don't know what is the current thing. Whether do we need to? I don't know. Andy was discussing about bringing back alternate solution for that label selector and all, right? Is that involve some kind of watching services? Because
Yeah.
right now we are doing some time scheduled approach or something like that. Yeah, please.
Yeah, there's a way to do like very selective watching. I personally have investigated it very closely though, so I'm not entirely sure how it works underneath the hood.
Yeah.
But it is an option I believe that we could use.
Okay.
But
So
was
what-
is this still a problem today? What's the problem we're trying to address? I guess. Right?
This all some optimizations. It's not really a functionality issue, but rather optimizing for performance or things like that, I guess.
Mhm.
But it's in. So fixing this will improve performance, basically, right? Is what the theory here.
Yeah, that's the
But
theory.
are we happy with the performance we have today? Is that good enough? I guess that's the question.
And not only performance,
And
some
then-
experience also, right?
No,
See,
no,
Andy
I
was
think-
pointing out to that issue, like, see, it takes sometimes a few minutes to reconcile because we are doing some kind of a back off
Right.
algorithm and
Right.
all, right? So
Yeah.
that means if you can improve that one, almost instantly that's getting binding. So that's not only performance, it's an experience also, user experience.
Right. Well, performance is user experience, obviously. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that this wouldn't, if we implement this on top of what we have now, it would actually decrease a bit of the performance. The idea of this, we have basically, before we dropped everything for performance, we
Right.
had one extreme, right? Poor performance, but we are watching for everything.
Right.
Then we decided to drop watching everything.
Right.
And we which is the second extreme, right? The opposite extreme. So we get a
Right.
better performance, but we don't lose rebinding on changes or something like that. And this is a feature which stands in between, right? So do not watch all, but only which is relevant, right? So
Right.
Yeah,
that's
more dynamic.
the
But
idea of
I
this.
need
That's
but I
the
need to
idea.
understand then from here. I need to understand what is missing today. I know there's a trade-off then between functionality and performance, but what are the functionality that we're missing because we did the performance improvement, right?
As I
I see
understand
if
it,
we can live with that or not, right? You know what I mean?
as I understand it, and please keep me honest here, Baiju. If someone decides to go into, say, their deployment and completely edit out all the things we projected after we've already projected them, we don't get informed of that change, and so they just chug along, having basically unprojected themselves, while the service binding thinks they're successfully projected.
Yeah, because we don't watch for that deployment.
Mm-hmm. And so by watching this deployment, we could check, we would be informed of such a change and basically undo it.
Yeah, and it may not be watching itself, maybe the solution. Maybe we could have some kind of informers, right? I mean, that is, what is the word? Webhooks to trigger the reconcilers. Is that a possibility? We need to check on that.
I believe that's what the reference implementation does.
Yeah.
I need to look closer at how that works.
Yeah.
I still don't quite understand it, even though I've had it explained to me like twice now.
Yeah. That's where I also hear this idea. I mean, he was talking about this. So it is like a combination of webhooks plus a reconciler. So a webhook is only used to trigger the reconciler. It doesn't do the real action, but it understands that there is some change. It triggers the reconciler. So that reconciler bind back again, something like that. Yeah. So I think let's keep this issue open, and we can definitely create an epic itself, or I don't know, maybe there is something.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know if it's worth it. Are we getting any issues from the field on this, right? And if we are, then maybe that's a good indication. We should start working on this, right?
Didn't we get one like this last week? And we told them you just go use a label selector.
Yeah. That we just this is something I'm going to close, right? I sent a new PR, right? And this is yeah, this is also related to that somehow, because we stopped doing this rebinding for performance optimization, right?
Right.
So, but whereas we do this rebinding if it is a label
selector, right?
Yeah, and also in the spec implementation, reference implementation, that behavior is not there. That means technically he could use reference implementation in order to work to get this behavior, but not our implementation. So I mentioned that also in case if you want to.
Yeah, so that's another reason to maybe start thinking
Yes,
about
it's Red
adopting
Hat
reference
version,
implementation, by the way.
not a Red Hat, I think. So maybe it's another organization. Okay. So let's keep. I think we have already spent quite some time. There was a couple of other topics I want to. So let me stop here. We'll get back to this later. Okay. I just want to, Pavel, is this something that you want to speak about, or can I move with the second topic? I need
So
just
you can
5
go
minutes.
on.
Okay then.
No
Yeah.
problem. I just wanted to suggest it
Okay.
for triaging.
Yeah, we already seen that. Okay, that's
Yes.
okay. So while maybe you already seen my updates in these channels, and also I came across this project from last the spec call. So this is a project from VMware. It's an open source project. How do I navigate? I think it's already open here. Yeah. So this is very close to a provision service construction tool. So basically, I'll give an example. So for the RDS itself, okay, there was something I already opened here. Yeah, here there is. So I'll show this example itself for the Amazon RDS service that I'm working on. So this is how you create a provision service. Okay, this is not exactly provision service, it is almost close to that right now. Okay, there is still something missing. And so we basically create a template, and the name of the resource is secret template. You specify all the input resources. So there is only one input. There are two input resources. There is one resource called DB instance, which is part of the Amazon ACK project and coming from this API group. And the instance that's getting created, let's say it is RTS PSQL1. And there is also another resource that is a secret, which they're keeping the password of that database, right? Now, so these are the two input resources, and now you define a template for your secret. So in this template, you can see here something called string data, and the string data you can specify the username or password or whatever that details that is required for your database connection. Okay, you can also specify labels and annotations also. Under this metadata section, you can, if you want any particular annotation, that also you can. So all these things are going to be used to construct a secret, and then there is something called here called string data and data. So the only difference is string data is plain text, whereas when this is a bit ambiguous, but still data meaning it is the secret resource convention where they use base64 encoded string. So these are this values are base64 encoded, whereas string data it is plain text. Okay, that's the only difference. So with this, once you have this secret template created, you'll get something very close to at least you can use it as for a direct secret reference. So one of the catch here is the secret that is getting created will be the exact name as that of this name that is given here. That is one of the behavior right now. So in this case, for example, RDS bindable, that's going to be the name of that secret. So we can use it for direct secret reference and use it. Okay. I can give a quick demo. I was just playing around that. I guess I have something.
What controller do you need to install?
Yeah, I need to install that. I just did that. I created a Minikube, and they have a YAML file which we could apply. I just did that. Oh no, not here. I think in their project here. Yeah, I just run this release.yaml file and it got installed. So I have this resource right now, and this is the secrets I'm creating, and this is my template. So let me apply that. kubectl apply -f template dot. Yeah, okay, that's it. I think it's already there. So I'll show you this output that got created. So you can see kubectl get secret. See, there is a secret here called new secret. By the name is new secret because that is the name of the secret, the resource, right? So the secret that is getting generated also going to be the same name, and with this many values, right? Here there should be something called username and password. So let's see that. New secret. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, username and password is there in base64 encoded format. So it got created a secret, and there is something else. I'll show you this secret template resource itself. And if you look here, secret template for new secret, I guess. Yeah. So just see this. Yeah, look at the status here. You can see something here. They already have something. That's why I'm saying it's very close to provision service. They don't in provision service. The name of this status is binding, right? Within binding, there
Right.
should be something called name. So
Right.
the only difference here they have right now is that it's called secret. So
So
yeah,
just rename a string and you're done.
yeah, you're done. Yeah. So that's what the current state. So, and the VMware implementation has support for this one also. Okay.
Yeah, what
They
I
have a
gather
special
is probably because it's the same name. That's how they discover, right? So they
Yeah.
they're probably searching for these template types, right? And then when they find one, it's like, oh, okay, I found one. Oh, I must have a secret named the same. Therefore, I can bind that, right? So,
Yeah.
so
So this
it's
becomes, yeah, that's why. So I created an issue here, and I can see some positive response about that. So hopefully they will support this provision service. Basically, just adding one more entry here called, that name
interesting.
binding. Yeah. So
What's the reason they have two data sources and not just the DB instance?
okay, this project is nothing to do with the specification. By the way, this predates even their project. They have this here for various reasons, and this is not the only resource within this project. Okay, they have secret export, secret import, and so many few other resources. So this project scope is wider than just the service binding. So the suggestion right now what I received here is to introduce yet another attribute in the spec, a boolean field called spec provision service, true or false. So if it is true, then only this resource is going to become compliant with the provision service. Otherwise they will use it for whatever else use cases they might have.
Cool.
Yeah. So
This is similar to our annotation, if you think about it. Right?
yeah, to some extent, correct. Yeah.
The experience is similar as well from the user point of view. Right?
Yes.
It's just another way to do it, which is
the only thing is this is an
interesting.
external resource. It's
right.
on CI
That's why
general,
it's interesting. That's why it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, that's all from my side. I guess we're almost close. Any questions? I think we'll talk about this community thing in the next call.
I think we're just about out of time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Stop.
Bye.